Hey everyone, hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome to another episode of Cyberpunk Red, Neon Divas and Last Chances, where we have our heroes, our morally questionable at time heroes that are here to help out um, and their friend in getting their club all together. Before we do any sort of recap, let's go ahead and go around the room and have everyone introduce themselves. That way we can go ahead and celebrate you guys. So the first one up is going to be Benji. Could you please tell us who you are, where you can be found?
Hi, I'm Benji. I play games. I can be found online at Chance47 on all the different socials. Pretty much only using Blue Sky right now. Um, so look me up there. I post self-deprecating posts all the time.
Hell
And
yeah.
I'm playing Bite Size, your local media who's trying to make it big.
Nice. And then perfect. And then Isabel.
Hi everyone, I'm Isabel. You can find me all over the internet at Isabel is okay. Similarly, I'm mostly just like sort of lurking on Blue Sky right now. I'm not really actively posting. I sometimes post on Instagram, but yeah, that's where you can find me. And today I am playing Ada, your netrunner slash hacker extraordinaire.
Amazing. And Adam.
Hello, hello. Mostly just on Blue Sky as well, Adamus Lamas. I guess you can maybe find me in video games where I have the same handle across everything. And I'm playing DDoS, medic. I'll get the accent one of these days.
Yeah, exactly. You just change it up throughout the session.
Oh
Amazing.
yeah, oh yeah.
Incredible. And then Zephy.
Yes, it me Zeffy, and I'm super excited to be here playing Riza. And sorry.
Amazing.
um, she's a. I was up to say, is she? No, she's a solar. I was supposed to say fixer. I'm like, why am I saying fixer? Got fixers on my mind.
One
Anyway,
day you'll become a fixer when you yeah, get
it's
enough.
because I made a fixer in Cyberpunk 2077. I started playing after like our last session. It's been
I
a lot of fun.
know. I love it so much. I'm like, oh my god. If I had more time, I would have a full campaign of Cyberpunk because it's like so good. Oh my
That
gosh.
part.
Right? Yeah. All right, cool. So, getting into the actual sort of recap. So, last session, you guys are all friends and associates of a woman by the name of Mishap, and Mishap runs an establishment called the Crescent Ballroom, which is a city, or sorry, like a nightclub in the combat zone and everything, kind of the rougher part of like Night City. But she's been doing okay for herself, but not enough to actually get her head fully above water. So she had a gambit to be able to bring this pop star, who's very talented by the name of Celeste, been known for a number of singles that have been like, topping the charts for a while and everything like that, but comes with a bit of baggage. Recently, a lot of performance has been like self-sabotage as just being a little bit too performing under the influence a little bit and just being a little bit difficult to work with and kind of ruined a few gigs and banned from a few places. But that's neither here nor there because Mishap thinks that would be the ultimate sort of gig and show to put on for the fans of the Crescent Ballroom and bring enough people in to be able to make it a full established club that is like comparable to some of the bigger names that are out in sort of Night City. And you guys all have something to gain or maybe a favor to owe or just want to help out Mishap in some way, shape, or form. So you've been along with this plan the entire time. And as you guys have been doing so, it came down to the wire where it was like the 11th hour, the night of the show, and everything like that. And sure enough, something had happened where there was apparently a last minute meet and greet that had been scheduled for Celeste and the daughters of your guys' fixer by the name of Payaso, and because of that, they had asked for double the amount of eddies that was originally promised, which used to be 5,000, now it's 10,000. We'll go to like I guess 15,000 and say 30,000 or whatever. And you guys, and not only that, but they also wanted an increase in her like medication that she requires to perform and everything like that. So, which is very steep, both costs. So to get help, you guys went to your fixer, and immediately he was like, "Yeah, I can make this happen. My daughters really want to, this to happen, so therefore I'll make it happen. But you guys are gonna need to do a little legwork and picking up the medication and also the eddies that are needed, which should be pretty easy. So you guys first went over to be able to pick up the performance enhancing drugs. Exactly, yes. And you went to go pick up the performance enhancing drugs. It was pretty smooth, pretty easy until a rival gang came in and started shooting up the place, and you guys were able to take a couple shots before you got out, and that was great. After that, you went across town to find the eddies, which they were supposed to be a super easy pickup, but the person who had it kind of resisted a little bit. Through a little bit of intimidation and and all, because you made them see reason, for better or for worse, to be able to hand you over the eddies, and you had it in hand. And as you guys exited, you got into the car, you started driving away down the street, heading over to the Crescent Ballroom, successful in all these sort of endeavors. You were informed suddenly by mishap that a new problem had occurred, that Celeste is not at the venue. She is apparently went to the Obsidian Suite, which is a penthouse, for this meet and greet, quote unquote, that was happening for Payaso and his daughters and Celeste, and she hasn't come out yet. No response at all from her, no response from the daughters, and they've requested that you guys go and check up on what's going on to be able to get her out of there and ultimately on stage at the Crescent Ballroom, because she's very quickly going to have to perform. And as you guys were actually making your way, just turning the car around, the bullet-ridden car around to be able to head over to the Obsidian Suite, which is the Corpo Zone, you guys suddenly find that you are being tailed by the NCPD, who rightfully, reasonably so, are suspicious of these fresh bullet holes and maybe some blood that splattered on the side of your guys' van. So I'll give you guys back the scene here. You're in the vehicle, and Ada was driving, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we ended the last session with me giving a drive check and using all of my luck to try and make it as good as possible to outrun these cops.
Amazing. All right. And what was your score?
So I rolled a 14 and then I have 7 luck. So the total is 21.
Okay, 21.
Yeah.
With a 21, that would be more than enough to be able to evade the NCPD. The moment they put on their lights, like, woo, woo, and then you guys are like, oh, what should we? And then just boom, as you immediately book it, weaving in and out of traffic and everything like that to be able to get away from them. And apparently it was more than they anticipated, because as you are able to weave in and out of traffic, you find that the lights and the sirens of the NCPD begin to quickly fade away behind you. But you recognize that it was definitely a risky move. If the traffic had not had enough room or gaps, so the light signals were a certain way, then maybe this would not have worked. But it did. And you guys find yourself very much separated from them, heading over to the Obsidian Suite penthouse. And any comments from you guys at all? Or you just kind of like pat Ada on the back?
Nice
I'm just
driving.
cheering. Woo!
I think Ada is saying nothing, just concentrating so hard, just like white knuckling the steering wheel and just like sweating, just
Amazing.
like so the most anxious she's ever been.
I start filming Ada and being like, zoom in.
I swear to
the
God,
Netrunner.
Bite Size, you need to get that camera out of my face right now, or I will crash this van.
Amazing.
All right.
Nah, Ada, you look so cool.
And also right now on the radio is Celeste's like last hit single on here.
Signal.
Yeah, Signal. There you go. Yeah. And by the name of Neon Ghost. So it's like just blaring right now. Do you turn it off, or do you like just leave it be?
No, that's helping my driving.
Amazing. All right, good. All right, cool. So in this time, you arrive at the Obsidian Suite. As you get here, you find that it's this huge, towering sort of building where it's a lot of the rich and the elite go to be able to do whatever it is they do, to host these fancy get-togethers, parties, business events, and all that kind of stuff. And the parking lot definitely is very much contrasted from what your guys' vehicle is. There's a whole bunch of pristine sort of vehicles there, and valet service and everything like that. And you guys are pulling up in this bullet-ridden sort of medical van. And the staff are very confused when you do arrive, and they kind of like look to take your, keys from you or what have you.
I hand over the keys, and I think like a piece of metal falls off the side of the van.
Yeah.
That was like barely hanging
The
on.
bumper just like
Yeah, just like clunks onto the ground, and I just hand the keys over. Just be like
Amazing.
Don't
wordlessly.
They hand you a little ticket for like your
Yeah.
amazing. And then all right, you guys. Actually, before you head on in, anything you guys say to one another to plan how you're going to handle any of this?
Oh yeah.
We-
I think
Do we take the drugs up with us? She's probably going to want drugs.
that's a good idea. If not
Yeah.
all of them, some of them. Also, should we leave the van with these strangers?
The drugs
a
are in
lot
a
of-
briefcase. That's pretty
Oh,
concealable.
no. Didn't we have a chance to drop everything off? Did we have a chance to drop everything off or no?
No,
we
you
just
hid
called.
it in the vehicle.
Good,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, what do we want to do with the vehicle? Should we trust it with valet or should we park it somewhere and set up security and take some of the drugs up to her?
I mean, I think we take everything up, and
I'd say, yeah, we shouldn't leave it in the
Yeah.
car.
we
Yeah.
can leave the van with these guys. If anything, we can just steal another car on the way out.
This is your car.
I mean,
He
Are you
wants-
over it? I would be
wants
over
to get
it.
a new car. Look at some of these cars.
And also, DDoS, you just made your final payment like on Friday, like a few days prior to this night.
Oh yeah.
oh, my insurance payment's gonna be a nightmare.
Oh yeah, I forgot. DDoS is terrible at handling his own money
And driving. Yeah.
and driving. Okay, yeah. Who's gonna hold on to the money and who's gonna hold on to the drugs?
I got the money.
I'll hold on to the drugs.
Okay.
Okay. And all right, perfect. So in this time, and the money's on like a card essentially. That's like
Oh.
it's kind of like there. So it's like not too bad at all and everything. But it's a very important piece of plastic, whatever the case might be. So sure enough, you arrive into the actual the Obsidian Tower is what it's called. And you know that she's in the Obsidian Suite of the Obsidian Tower. So you get in here, you find that it's all like very pristine, very high end fashion and interior design and everything. Like very glossy sort of floors and a very nice looking sort of area for reception and everything like that. And the receptionists themselves have had cybernetic enhancements to look the part of being, kind of like an obsidian sort of statue, as they immediately, look to you and go like, welcome to the Obsidian Tower, as she kind of looks beyond you guys to see the vehicle that you guys arrived in and everything. And
Maybe we wait until the vehicle's out of view before we walk in so they don't
That's
know
up to
that
you
that's
guys,
where
up
we
to you
came
guys.
from.
Yeah,
I
up
would
to
do that.
Yes.
I would suggest that.
Sure, absolutely. So you wait for an appropriate amount of time for valet to be able to take the vehicle and head over. And as it gets out of sight,
We walk in as another fancy car is pulling up so that they might think that that's ours.
amazing. And who amongst you will greet the receptionist?
Hi, yes, we're here to see Celeste.
And they're like, oh, Celeste. And they kind of look at you like, do you know which room they're staying in?
Do I know which room?
Yeah. It's
The
a
Obsidian
penthouse, right?
Suite. Yeah.
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 Obsidian? Yeah.
The Obsidian Suite. We're expecting.
All right. You see the lights like flicker and sort of flash, and they go like, "I am so sorry, but the Obsidian Suite is currently under Do Not Disturb mode. No calls can be made inside of it at this time. Maybe if you're able to contact them and be able to let us know that you guys are coming, that might be able to help out. But they aren't answering any hails at this time."
We know. Payaso. Wait, who's our fixer?
Payaso? Yeah.
Payaso.
Payaso.
We know.
Yeah.
Paella. We know Payaso's daughter is in there. We could have him text his daughter, maybe.
Yeah, that would work. Maybe.
Do we know his daughter?
We don't know
You
his
do.
daughter,
Oh,
but
we have him.
we can
Okay,
have
sorry.
Paeso text his daughter
yeah.
to contact the front desk and let us up because we already called him earlier. So
You guys know them to be the daughters' actual names are Lola and Rita. They're twins, sort of like girls and everything. They look. The difference between them is that like one is a little bit taller than the other, and just by like a half inch or what have you. But
Can
otherwise,
we? Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and you definitely know them to be a bit of firecrackers. Their nicknames is one is called the Smile, the other one's called the Fist. Where one of them definitely is like the face of the group, very charismatic, very sweet, very sinister in certain ways, and the other one is very rough and sort of tough. And all that. They've come around the club, quite a few times because their father finances the club and everything, and they have given oftentimes VIP access and everything like that. Very much loyal. They know exactly what their dad is doing, and they absolutely help him with the family business and all that kind of stuff. They're kind of scary. You kind of take a wide berth around them, or whatever the case might be. But you do know them. So Lola and sort of Rita.
do we have their contact info, or would we need to go through their dad?
You do. Yep.
Okay, so then
And-
maybe we just text them.
Is it
'Cause-
like an ironic naming situation where like Smile is like
Smile
the
is the
brawler
tough
and the
one,
Punch
and-
is the, the
Fist
nice
is-
one?
And the fist is the sweetie pie.
Right.
The face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say we just text the girls because they are.
So you kind of like walk away from the desk for a little bit.
Yeah,
And then as you do so, you go ahead and give a call over to like Lola. It doesn't answer, and you go to the Smile. It doesn't answer. Usually she answers. They go to the Fist. It doesn't answer. It's not even a like it rings and goes to voicemail. It just is a disconnect. Sort of like do not disturb mode. It just immediately goes to voicemail.
Ada,
That's very concerning.
do you
that's-
think you can hack this?
I can
Elevator?
try. I can try to get into their security system. Maybe we can see what's going on up there.
Yeah, you look around this area. Well, what you can see is that there are the receptionist is very physically attractive, very beautiful, and everything like that, meant to receive guests and welcome them and everything like that. And then you find that there are very professional-looking security guards that are positioned by the elevators and just kind of like by the fronts and everything, just to make sure that none of the guests are disturbed in any sort of way. You also see that there are cameras that are facing around the sort of area that are constantly sort of scanning. Definitely an upscale sort of place that you find here.
I could maybe try to get in. I would need a place to do that sort of subtly without these cameras catching on to what I'm doing.
What kind of place do you need for that?
I mean, I think, D'Angelo, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think to hack, I would need like a data port to get into, or yeah. So I would need to find like, maybe I could find something. Maybe we could get into like another system. Like maybe we could get into like a utility room or like somewhere that's not obvious to try to get
open,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, somewhere outside or something like that. We can just say
Is-
we're leaving and coming back.
Is Celeste's like drug use and kind of like partying like pretty wild or pretty widely known? Or
How much streetwise do you have?
That's a great question. I forgot what that social. Let me
Yeah,
see.
it's under social.
I mean, I guess I have 5 cool. I don't know if I have any mods or levels in it, but I got 5 cools.
I think Bite Size probably has Streetwise.
Yeah,
though.
I have a 14 in Streetwise.
Okay, so with a 14, you definitely recognize that there's been a couple of developments for Celeste. She's made a public announcement that she's trying to cut back from her heavy use of different self-medication and all that kind of stuff. And she's gone to rehab, and she's promised the world that she's going to get better. And there's been a lot of PR movements to showcase that she's doing that. Whether that's true or not, you're not certain, but you know that there's been apparently an effort that she's trying to go clean and all that. But in the past, you definitely know that she absolutely throws ragers. She absolutely she has the top tier premium trauma team or medical insurance, so that way if anything happens to her, she's already almost died like 7 times, and like they've come to rescue her and get her and all that kind of stuff and be able to do it. As you guys know, like the medical insurance trauma team, the moment that anything happens to you or whatever, and they feel you're in danger, they swoop in with guns and medical supplies to be able to ensure that you live no matter what happens. So you take comfort in the fact that there are not the medical teams that are like crashing through the windows right now. So
She's probably alive. She's not actively dying.
correct.
Yeah, I mean, I guess can I look around for a place to try and get into the system? I'm wondering if maybe we could try to go to like I don't know, like a guest services area, like a lounge for like hotel goers or something.
On this first floor there is the bar area, and using a quick look around, I want to make you guys roll. What is your guys'
Like
perception check?
awareness or some
Yeah,
perception
awareness,
or
I would say. Yeah.
perception, I think is the skill.
Yeah, that'd be good.
21.
21. Okay. So with the 20, oh yeah, you have your eyes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So with the 21, you recognize that there's a lot of different areas that you could port into. There, some of them seem like more janitorial sort of areas to control the AC or the lighting or like whatever the case might be and all that. And you definitely find that there's like in the bar area. There are a few of those ports by the reception. The ultimate one is the receptionist's desk because she has access to like everything and all that kind of stuff. But you could have sort of limited access to the actual like janitorial port or the temperature control, room control port around, and I can absolutely see what you can do there. And if you're good enough, then you can break through
Yeah.
and get whatever you need. Yeah.
Maybe I try the lower risk entry point and see if I can get through.
Sure.
I say
Amazing.
to Ada, the receptionist said her room was on Do Not Disturb, so maybe all we need to do is get in there and change the status of the
Change
room,
it to, yeah, I think so.
and then we could call up to her.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we try to do that. Do you guys want to give me some cover as I go like check into one of these ports?
You need a distraction?
Ooh, I can get birthday shots and be really loud about it.
Sure. Yeah.
And keep
That
in mind,
works.
I can't remember if I told you this or whatever, but we'll say that in your last correspondence with Mishap, where she told you that there was a problem, what did she do it, or did Payaso reach out to you? I can't
No, she told
She did.
us.
Okay, so you did hear in the background that Payaso's voice was there, like commenting certain things or whatever the case might be. So you definitely heard that he is like with Mishap and all that kind of stuff. The daughters are at the meet and greet with Celeste, and everything. So, yeah, you have that information, and then so in this bar area, it is moderately full. It's definitely like happy hour. A lot of chicken wings and ranch going on as people are like enjoying themselves, and you see that there's a couple bartenders that are like handling everything. Different sports events are on this screen and what have you. And despite that, you definitely do see that there is a security guard that is within that sort of area, just making sure no one gets too rowdy, which you see a couple of people are getting a little bit loud or like, arguing, a couple breaking up in the corner, whatever the case might be. And there's just like, a few things happening here. Yeah. And the data port that you need is unfortunately right next to the security guard.
Damn. Okay. Well, what do we think, gang? I could try to maybe do like a conceal like the connection or something like that. I don't know. I think I'm gonna need a distraction though. Either way,
Is there
I have to
anything?
walk right next to him.
Is there anything about this security guard that stands out, or anything?
Uh, is there an insight check? Let me see.
There's human
Um,
perception.
Human
Yeah, I
perception?
think
Yeah,
that's
try
the
that.
one.
Go and do human perception. Yeah. Because with your 21, I will say that they look very professional. They look very physically fit. You can definitely tell there's some chrome sort of on them. They have some cybernetic enhancements. They have glasses on. They look very clean and all that kind of stuff. And they have the same obsidian statue sort of aesthetic as the receptionist.
16.
16. Okay. With the 16, you definitely recognize that they are very fixated on the cyber hockey that's going on, which is all the rage in Night City. And yeah,
So maybe we could slip past them.
I don't know anything about cyber hockey.
I turned to DDoS, the only one of us who probably DDoS and Riza probably.
I'm a casual fan. I move. DDoS.
The Knuckle Pucks versus the Hawks. Yeah, I guess we could maybe try and
Cannon.
talk to. I guess I could. Yeah, we could go buddy up to him. And try to distract
I
him.
could maybe stand. We could go over and stand near him, and one of you could talk to him about the game, and then I could try to like subtly connect my cybernetic without, and just like like sort of silently be standing next to you and just like nodding my head while you talk to him, and we could just act like we're watching the game with him.
I could also, if it goes south, I could.
Well, let's
What,
not
what is
cause
that?
What does that mean?
let's not cause a scene in the middle of this hotel. I think if it goes south, we
give
just
him a little-
lie.
Just give him a little nighty night.
No, we're literally no.
What are you
There's so
pinching?
many cameras. I cannot emphasize to you how
that's
bad
like
of an idea that is.
A
to us.
syringe, like
We would be caught on 12 different angles.
This is not syringe.
yes, well,
We're
my
literally.
actual needles come out of
We
my
still
arms,
have
that's
to go
why.
up to the penthouse regardless of how this turns out. Like, we still have to get up there. So, like, we cannot fuck it up that bad.
Okay, well, all right. Well, I'll
We
try
just
and
have
talk.
bite-sized lie for us if that happens.
Okay. D'Angelo, how attractive are these security guards?
Yeah.
Very. With all the staff, all the
Everyone
security
is
guard, the
beautiful here.
janitor, everyone has had these like. It's
in the
geared-
Corpo district. They
Yeah,
got money.
exactly. It looks
Yeah.
they look like statues essentially. So they all look similar to one another, very pristine. Some of their original skin tone can come through a little bit, but for the most part, they look like just kind of Greek statues or whatever, but obsidian and all that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, guys. It's time to use my greatest weapon. My sexuality.
Wasn't what I was expecting, but okay, let's go.
I'm going to walk up to this security guard and I'm just gonna be like, so you enjoying the game?
In every game I play with you, Benji. Every game. It's just-
Well, he has to. He simply must.
To be fair, you're the one who says all of your NPCs are dateable.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Touche. All right. So go ahead and roll for me this cool seduction. Let's see.
There's acting, there's
Conversation,
conversation.
persuasion.
Whichever you feel. Well, there's a social. Yeah, conversation. Yeah. So whichever you feel is the most appropriate. I'll get open floor it to you as long as it's not ridiculous. Yeah.
Conversation sounds good.
Okay.
18.
Let's go. You're so hot.
All right. So you go up to the security guard and you start talking to them. How does this look? What do you say?
I have my camera in my hand as well. So to make, so everything to say like I am media. And I just kind of saunter up and put an elbow on like the nearest bar and I'm like, so you enjoying the game?
Looks over to you and feels a little bit embarrassed as they kind of are caught in the act of like clearly they're supposed to be working, but they've been caught that they've been enjoying the game, and they go like,
I won't tell.
It's like, I appreciate that. It's been like these nights can get a little bit dull. Thankfully, as a security guard, we want our nights to be kind of chill. But I have a lot of money riding on this game, and it's just like what did you say? The pucks and the
Knuckle Pucks and the Hawks.
Knuckle
The-
pucks is
yeah.
so funny.
the knuckle pucks. Yeah, I have a lot of money riding on the knuckle pucks. So I'm just like really keen on this game. Are you a fan? Are you a fellow?
I'm a big pucker. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like,
While Bite Size is saying that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk behind and try to like connect to the port while the security guard's back is turned.
okay.
And I'd like to argue for conceal reveal object. It's a skill I'm using. If you will allow that as like a
Sure.
sleight
Yeah.
of hand to connect quietly and un.
And I would say normally it would take like a 15, but we'll reduce it to like a 13 for this one to see if you can do this.
Cool. I literally can't fail unless I crit fail. 15.
15? Okay. So with the 15, you end up, just slipping past. There's a good amount of people that are in here. So they kind of like are all sort of like moving around, getting a little bit loud, rowdy, whatever the case might be. So it's you just kind of slip in. And then you find this data port and you kind of like jack in and all that kind of stuff. And as you do so, you find very quickly that there are just basic features of like being able to control the lighting, the temperature, whatever the case might be, and all that kind of stuff. But you recognize that you could bypass this if you wanted to try to do so and all that.
Yeah, I will try to get to like the room access area, like security.
Okay. Let me see here.
There's
What
an
would that be?
electronics and security tech skill.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
I'm very good at it. I built my character around this. I did 23.
23? Okay, that's good. Yeah. So it was like a 17 to be able to do this because they have a bit more security than normal places and all that kind of stuff. But with the 23, you bypass it, no problem. You find that there's a whole bunch of options to be able to do. To be able to generate, a key card access for you guys, to be able to, gain information as to, what's happening in these different sort of areas, gain access to security cameras, control security cameras, whatever the case might be. That it's kind of like open to you. So at this time, as they're distracted, you definitely recognize that, like, Ada is like against the wall, like with their USB J kind of like jacked in there. Do you guys do anything to offer sort of like a block line of sight or kind of help them hide a little bit?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, Riza?
what's the proximity to the bar? Because like, she wants that birthday shot. It's on her mind.
Right? Oh, it's in the vicinity. Yeah, so you can absolutely do so if you want to. You can just like walk right over and then
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. She does that. Reese's just like, birthday shot for me. And just very attention grabbing, like flipping her hair, posturing as she walks over.
Let me see. What is your cool?
What is my cool?
Let me check. Will a cool 5. Okay. All right, cool. So, you head over, and you what do you say? Like just birthday shot? Kind of like loud and excited towards the bartender.
Yeah.
All right. So as you do so, they're like, "Oh, it's your birthday. Don't worry, I got something for you. Go ahead and give me, I'll just pay the price for a normal drink, and I'll get you something special." As they immediately start
All
to
right.
work at something. Funds get exchanged and everything like that. Do you use the gig money, or do you use your own money?
My own money.
Okay, are you sure? It's like,
We're smart, D'Angelo. You can't trick us. You can't
Don't
trick
tempt
us.
me.
yeah, right? There's a top shelf liquor that is not offered in the other night. So sure enough, you do so. And as you do so, they create you a drink, and it's great. It's like, it's sweet, it's strong, and all kind of stuff. They definitely poured a good amount of alcohol in it to make sure you get your money's worth and everything like that. And then, and they, congratulate you. And then other people around are like, "Oh, happy birthday!" And then they kind of all get super excited.
Thank you. And I'll point at some random person, just like, you, join me.
Perfect.
Let's take a shot.
All right, good. So go ahead and do so. And go ahead and roll your, I would say probably persuasion. Let me see here.
Okay.
Persuasion or
So social and
maybe
then-
conversation.
Yeah, conversation, persuasion, whichever. Actually, you have a 5 in persuasion, so I think that'd probably be the best one.
I'm using the generic sheet and I see 7.
Oh, 7? Okay,
Oh.
that's fine.
Or is it the total? Wait,
It should give you it if you're using the pre-made sheet. I think it does give you the total. I can double check for you.
Oh, it is. Okay.
You're the solo, right?
correct. So 9.
Your persuasion is 9 is the
Okay.
total. Yes,
So go to
because you
roll
have
your
a couple
D10.
levels in it.
Okay.
Your cool is 7, actually, not 5.
What'd you get?
What did you roll?
A
Did you
1.
get a 1?
No,
Amazing.
you're
All right.
so suave,
just,
and you
like,
rolled a 1.
Fall? Oh, like what happened?
Your cool is actually 7, and you have 9 total. That's
All
crazy.
right, so go to roll a D10 again. And then
Okay, but that's a 10. That's a 10 total. So you'd have to get a 10 or you have to get a 9 or a 10 to have it be a crit fail.
So that's a 5.
5.
Okay,
So-
so it's not a crit fail.
Perfect. So, okay. So our first sort of crit fail of the game, you rolled a 1 on your 10, and then you rolled a 5. So it's going to be 5 minus your result of 10. So that'd be 5 is what you have right now. So it's a bit awkward. Maybe you're not the best actress or whatever the case might be, and you're like,
Nope.
you drink a shot with me, and you find it seems to be like the actual manager of the security guards and all that kind of stuff just got off their shift, and then he like kind of looks at you and be like, are you a guest here at this hotel?
I will be.
They're like, all right, I mean, if you're gonna buy me a shot, then I won't refuse it. They're like, what brings you here, by the way? As they
My birthday. I'm in the area.
perfect, you buy the shot for him, he like drinks it and everything. And then he goes, all right, well, don't get too excited, because, not to be a stickler, it's been a rough day and all kind of stuff. As he kind of, shrugs a little bit. And then...
I'll be moderately excited. And sorry about your rough day. Hopefully it's better now.
Amazing. He takes it. And then he goes, yeah, it's fine. Happy birthday, as he just kind of
Thank you.
drinks. And then he, snaps his fingers towards the security guard that you're talking to, bite-size, as he's like, oh, sorry, I got to be on the clock. As he just kind of, straightens up and looks sort of around and all that stuff. DDoS, what are you doing to block line of sight of Ada?
Divas has made his way over to the fighting couple, and he's just going to try to amp that up. I don't know whose side he's taking. I got to hear a little bit of the argument to jump in here, and I think he's going to slyly try to give them some adrenaline or amphetamines, so they're kind of
Spike their drinks.
Yes.
Spike their drinks. Oh my god. They just keep getting
The
lower
worst
and lower.
doctor ever.
Amazing.
We
All
need
right.
a distraction.
So there's a couple things we can do here. You hear them arguing about finances and being like, this is why we have a budget. You cannot break the budget. Otherwise we that's the only way we're going to get out of debt. And be like, I know, but I really wanted this dress, and then I never get anything nice for me, and you never buy anything nice for me. So what's the point of being this? It's just really start
Exactly,
escalating.
mate. Sometimes you gotta just buy her something nice. And what are you doing? You brought her out here. You're wasting money too.
Amazing.
It's a partnership. It's give and take, compromise.
Imagine you're fighting with your significant
Wait, shit,
other
I'm
at a
so
bar,
and a
and
random
someone
person
comes
comes in.
up to you and says this. That's so unhinged. I love
Sorry,
it.
I forgot I was supposed to amp it up. It's yeah, you never buy anything for her. Look, she had to go out and buy this with her own money.
Who are you? It's amazing. Do you buy a
I'm-
drink, spike it, and then offer it over, or do you kind of just try to spike their drinks?
Yeah, he's actually gonna bring over. I'm imagining maybe I don't know if they have pineapples in the future, those. Looks like a cored out pineapple.
Synth
and then there's,
pineapple?
a
Yeah.
big cocktail in there. It's got 2 straws. It's how about you two just bury the hatchet? This one's on me. Costs you nothing.
All right. Let's do persuasion to be able to do, or conversation, whichever you want to do,
I don't know either.
or bribery, whichever
Ooh.
you want to try to pitch.
I have to go persuasion, I guess. I mean,
Okay.
or bribe. Either one's Now, how do y'all roll on here? I feel like I did it before, and now I don't know how. Or I'll just roll a d10.
I just roll a d10, yeah, because if you're using the pre-made thing.
I have a +5, and that is a 6, so it's
No,
11.
you're using the pre-generated medtech sheet.
Yeah, I think so.
You have a +10 to persuasion.
Well, then that's a 16.
That's 16. All right, so with the 16, that's pretty good. So as you go over to there, you kind of like, schmooze a little bit and all kind of stuff, and they kind of look over to you and be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. We're probably way too loud for that. We should probably talk about this sort of later. I'm sorry. It was and she turns to their partner, kind of apologizes. It's been a really hard day, at work and everything like that. You don't deserve this. You're right. We should relax, and we'll figure it all out tomorrow. For tonight, it's our date night, And they're like, okay, thank you. And they'll just look at me like, who are you? Also, is that blood on your shirt?
I mean, I'm a doctor.
I knew you were gonna say I'm a doctor.
Like,
and a psychiatrist. So if you want to do a couple session another time, I mean, here's my card.
Amazing. And then sure enough, they take the drinks and they start drinking. They're like, wow, this is actually really good. There's a weird taste, like an aftertaste to it. But and what drugs do you give them? Or what kind? You can just like, yeah.
I think in the future they call it werewolf, hyper werewolf. It's like just a cocktail of amphetamines and meth, which is also amphetamine. Just
give them meth.
It's meth and PCP.
Yes, meth and PCP. And if you take it at night, you go a little crazy.
All right, perfect. So you give this to them. And then you walk away, and then they're gonna fail their addiction checks very soon. And all right, so
you just ruined two people's lives.
Amazing.
You solved their petty argument and ruined their lives.
As this all goes down at the same time, parallel sort of play,
God.
whatever the case might be. The boss kind of snaps his fingers at the security guard who like straightens up. And then looks over to the couple that's actually kind of like we're fighting and getting like they've been fighting all night it's good that they actually calm down a little bit as they start like causing a scene, kind of like giggling, laughing a bit, getting a little bit rowdy, and like, I'm sorry, I have to like go and check on this. As the security guard walks away from the area to go and check on the couple and kind of tell them to calm down and everything, and all the while. Going back to Ada, you're able to successfully, jack in, be able to access whatever you'd like to. What is it you want to do here with your control?
I think highest priority is I want to get us access to the rooms. I want to download room access so that we have that. So that's the first thing. And then if I have time, if like my distractions have bought me enough time, I'd also like to just peek in the security cameras and see what's going on in the room.
Perfect. So number one, you do get access. You specifically have access to the elevators now. They will open up for you. They register with your body and everything like that. And then the room will open up for you as you approach it and everything like that. The security cameras will not activate within the room itself because it's on do not disturb mode, but it will activate outside of it with video and audio and all kind of stuff. Do you want to access that camera?
Yeah, I'll see. I'll just see if there's anything in the hall or if I can hear anything.
Okay, perfect. So you do end up seeing that, like, outside of the actual room, there are what appears to be the associates of Payaso that are outside and kind of knocking on the door. And you hear them being like, hey, like, Rita, I don't mean to rush you guys or anything like that, but we're beyond time and we're getting calls from your father to bring him out. Like, could you let us in? Like, what's going? Is everything okay? And like, I think something's going on. As they're back, pacing back and forth. Security does go over to them and be like, is everything okay here? And like, yeah, everything's fine. I'm sorry. We're just like, trying to get access to the room. That they do this sometimes. It's like a prank or whatever the case might be. And the security guard's like, all right, well, if there's a problem, just let us know. As they kind of like walk away and all that. And they just kind of like go like, shit, what are we gonna do? Like, I don't know. As they're like freaking out a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, but do I know that my security will open the penthouse door?
Yes.
Or
you are now one of the
so we
registered
can go into the room. Okay, then I just immediately go out because yeah, I think time is of the essence. So and these guys are already doing a lot to distract from me. So I'm gonna try to like unconnect and like walk over to the elevator and like signal to them that we can go.
You're like, ah, as you'll stop what you're doing. Amazing. So, perfect. At this time, you all pull away from your different sort of areas. You hear the sound of the couple getting like they're laughing hysterically at nothing or whatever, and the security guard goes like, "I'm gonna need you to calm down." The other guests are getting a little bit like concerned. Are you do you need to ride home or to your room? And they're like, don't you tell me what to do. I'm a paying customer, and they freak out essentially. And then a fight starts out, and then the security guards have to kind of like leave their posts to be able to help out and sort the situation out, leaving you a great opportunity to be able to go to the elevators. Any conversation between you guys as you make your way to the elevators?
DDoS, what did you do?
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys for the distractions, but what the hell? What was that?
That couple just needed a little push in the right way, and I fixed all the problems.
You were definitely a catalyst.
Remind me to never ask you for help.
You just hear in the background, "Don't touch me, I'm pregnant." As,
Oh no! We've just made super babies.
That's what happens. Sure. You sound like a great doctor. You really know your stuff.
Amazing. And then, sure enough, in this time, you guys head over to the elevators, and the moment that Ada walks by them, they turn green and then open up for you guys as you enter in. Fanciest hotel, elevator you've ever seen in your entire life, with different unique features to be able to make everything go. And you know that they are on the top floor. The Obsidian Suite is the largest, the greatest sort of like suite ever. And
I will fill everyone in on what I saw, and that I can't access the cameras inside, but we can get into the door, so it doesn't matter. And I'll let them know that Pesos guys have been trying to get in and haven't been able to, as we're on our way up.
Perfect. All right, awesome. So, in this time, you get to the hallway. It's a very long sort of hallway. The security team kind of like walks out as you walk in. Hi, Judy. You want to say hi? Can you say hi?
Oh my gosh.
Can you say how are you?
Sweetie.
Aww.
Oh, good. All right. Can you say Cyberpunk? Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, let me see what time it is. All right, we're going to go ahead and take our break so I can put this little baby down, and we'll be back very soon. All right. There we go. And they can hear me now. Welcome back, everyone, to our final section of the actual part 2 of Neon Divas and Last Chances, where our heroes, questionable term, heroes, are looking to gain access to the Obsidian Suite, where in there lies the object of their desire, which is Celeste, this world-renowned pop star. That is going to perform at the club that will change their lives potentially. All they need to do is get her into their vehicle, bullet-ridden vehicle, and onto the stage at the Crescent Ballroom. But before they do that, they got to figure out why she hasn't arrived there already. And you guys are now here, the very top floor. Even from here, there's like windows, sort of walls, and you can see the rest of sort of Night City here. And very far off in the distance, there's a little bit of a speck of like vibrant neon sort of lights. And you know that's for the Crescent Ballroom. And there's even some ads that were Mishap had to pay a small fortune for to display that, like, one night only, Celeste, at the Crescent Ballroom, and showcases the location and time and everything like that. And here you are, your efforts will decide if she will actually arrive at that actual venue and perform as promised. And then the doors open up, and sure enough, down the hall, you see it only leads to one room. And at the end of that room, there are these 4 sort of like associates of Payaso, the fixer, who are trying again, banging on the wall, being like, "Hey, is something wrong? Do we need to call security? Because if you don't open this door, we're gonna call security, and we're gonna get this, opened up. And we know that your dad's not gonna like it, but we have no choice at this point." As they're pacing back and forth, trying to figure out what to do, and you guys arrive in the scene. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna walk towards the door.
You're gonna walk straight towards the door. Okay.
Yeah, unless my friends have another idea. But yeah, because I have access, so I think I'm just gonna calmly just walk straight up to the door.
Excuse me,
Okay.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
is saying
join
nothing.
walking.
You guys know what's
Just
going on in there.
Walk slowly, calmly to the door and just open it.
I
That looks
also
so
sent
cool.
us.
All right, so you say that to them, and they're like, "Oh, I recognize you guys. You guys are the ones that are, mishaps crew and everything like that." You're like, "Thank you for coming down here, but I don't know how much help you're gonna be because like they've been in there for a long time. They told us to go get drinks, and then we, came back, and they won't let us back in, no matter what's, we don't know what's going on, and everything's on do not disturb mode." As they're kind of explaining all this, Ada, you're walking sort of past them, and you get close to the door, and it's like, boop, boop, and it like showcases green, and then opens up for you. Immediately, the sound of loud sort of music plays, as well as stressed out sort of screaming, being like, "She's not breathing! She's not breathing! What do we do?" And they're like, "I don't know!" Like, as they're just like freaking out, and everyone sort of rushed into this room. As you do so, you see that definitely a party was going on. The table has lines of different, substances. There's different drinks and all this kind of stuff that's around here. Also, a lot of weapons and guns, and it seems like, bullets have definitely been shot here. It seems like for entertainment, if you can gather, or whatever the case might be. It's just a wild sort of scene that's happened here. And you recognize for sure that in these kind of facilities, if anyone has any reasonable amount of points in tech, you would know that in these sort of venues, that's privacy is sort of keen here. That they typically have signal jammers to ensure that no one really can get in and nothing gets out, from this place or anything like that. But sure enough, on the floor of this sort of area, you see this the object of your desire, Celeste, is on the floor. Like, her mouth is sort of foaming and her eyes are rolled back in the back of her head. She definitely seems like she's overdosing on something. And there are the 2 daughters of Payaso that's there. One, the smile, the other one's the fist. And they're both have these cybernetic enhancements to make them look like they are Harley Quinn-esque, pale of skin, these clown-like sort of figures and everything like that. But there's no smile on their face right now as they're freaking out, trying to figure out how to resuscitate Celeste, who looks like this pop star goddess and everything like that. And now is unresponsive as everyone rushes in, and they're like, "Oh fuck, what do we do?" And then they're like, "We should call Payaso." And then the daughters are like, "Don't you dare! They'll kill us!" As we gotta take her body and dump it in the corpo alleyway, and then let the trauma team deal with it.
DDoS is flying in at this point.
Yeah,
Out of my
I
way, I'm a
immediately
doctor.
turn to DDoS. I'm like, "You are up, my guy."
He's already got the needles coming out of his hands, ready to go. He's like, "All right, move along, move aside."
All that'll wake her is the werewolf stim.
Damn, I'm out.
No!
I'm just kidding. Okay, so multiple things can happen at this point. There's the girls, that are the ones who absolutely know what happened here. Celeste, who is unresponsive, and the guards, who are very quickly trying to figure out how best to assist, but are clearly the hierarchy is that they will follow the commands of the daughters before they, and not overrule them. But everyone's freaking out here as you hear them go shut the door, keep do not disturb mode on, and do not do it, because otherwise the trauma team will burst in here and it'll be terrible, and it'll be on our heads, whatever, as they're screaming out these sort of stuff. So naturally, DDoS, you make your way over to Celeste's unresponsive body. Go ahead and give me a inspection sort of check. Let me see what would that would be.
I think I have a paramedic.
Yeah, something like I actually think I have your. Yep,
Is that
DDoS.
human perception? I don't know what that means.
That's like insight. That's like their emotional
Oh,
state
gotcha.
and everything like that. So it would probably be maybe technique. It goes first aid.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
first aid would probably be med tech, paint draw, paramedic. I would say whichever you feel is most relevant. So paramedic, med tech, first aid would probably give you some good stuff. Let me see: awareness, concentration, perception,
You have
tracking.
plus 14 to paramedic. That's probably your best.
Yeah, probably roll with that. But I guess before he like does anything, he would ask the twins like, "What is what happened? What is she taking?"
Sure. Yeah, and they go like, so the fist was like, we knew we'd be helping her right now, as she's like freaking out. And then, so the smile, however, goes over to you and goes, we wanted to show her a good time, so we got a lot of daddy's like good stuff, like a really good stuff that he won't even let us do. But I guess there may have been experimental combat stims mixed in, and like, because he told us that there was like a shipment of those, but she didn't really care, and she just wanted to try whatever. So I think she mixed a few of them, and it's like adrenaline based. It's like sort of like some psychotics in there, and it's just as she's guys like panicking and kind of.
You just opened up the candy shop to a recovering addict. Great. And then he will roll.
We have a suitcase full of drugs for her.
Paramedic.
You just
I am
slipped
taking the high road right
meth
now.
to random people, random strangers.
8 plus 14 is
22. So with the 22, you go ahead and look upon her body. You definitely see that she is like overdosing. Her body just cannot handle everything that's happening at this time and all that. And you go ahead and immediately begin to apply your sort of skill set to be able to like force her to throw up, to be able to give her some like downers to combat, everything that's happening to her and everything like that. And you're making good progress. It seems like you're going to be able to stabilize her. Now, admittedly, this is technically my second time, GMing for Cyberpunk, so I'm not sure if there's a full blown like medic thing, but I do know that there is a chart for stabilizing. Let me just check it really quick, just so we can all learn. Lightly wounded, serious wounded, mortally wounded, target mortally wounded, blah blah blah. I mean, I guess it would be mortally wounded would kind of be the.
I think he would look to smile. It's like, hey, you still have that combat stim.
And she, yeah, absolutely. As she goes over to like the table and then brings
Hand
it
it
over.
over.
And yeah, she brings it over.
He fucking just injects it into himself. All right, let's go.
There you go. Amazing. So you recognize this room as a private sort of like penthouse. It seems like for the like ongoings and business of Payaso and whatever he needs this place for, party area, a meeting area, whatever the case might be. But there's a lot of illegal stuff that's sort of around here. But of course, the corpos don't care so long as you pay your bill and everyone's happy and all that kind of stuff. So any questions that you have for anyone here or anything like to do?
I think whatever we can do to just support DDoS, I feel like that's the most critical thing.
Sure.
I think maybe, yeah, I don't know, we can maybe try and keep the girls occupied so that they're not like crowding him and like freaking out.
Yeah, and then you definitely hear their conversation. It's very keen, or not very keen, but you hear them talking about the situation. And just continually going, like, she's going to be pissed at us when she wakes up. Like, she's going to, like, we can't let her know this. Like, we should probably just let her die and then just, like, hide her body somewhere and say that she never got here. That'd probably be the best thing to do because it would be embarrassment to like, daddy and everything like that. And they go, like, I don't know. What if they save their life and she's grateful for it? Like, this could be a win for us, And also, if she doesn't show up at the club, it's going to look bad. And he's going to lose so much money on all this. And then they're just kind of freaking out about it.
Hey. Calm the fuck down.
With your camera like in their face.
Yeah. Celeste has nearly OD'd like 47 times, okay? This is familiar territory for her. She has gone on to perform gigs after events like this in the past. You just need to keep your shit together and act in a way that would make your daddy proud.
All right.
That part. Play on her ego. She's done it before. Why can't she do it now?
There you go. Persuasion check, and then you get a +2 for Risa.
25.
25. So with the 25, you cut through all the noise and everything like that. As even the guards are trying to like talk sense into like, the smile and the fist and everything, and trying to say like, hey, listen, don't do anything, risky. This could be a huge international situation. As you cut through everything and you kind of like speak to her and say all this kind of stuff, and then they kind of look and they go like, shit, as they just kick something, over, and then kind of like wait for everything to happen, and immediately, in your arms is this like French pop star, essentially, that is like overdose. You look at her cybernetic enhancements, and they're worth like thousands upon thousands of eddies. Like you could never fathom about having that much, funds to be able to spend on even just like some of these different things. And yet, in your arms, she ends up coming to as her vitals are beginning to stabilize, and she's starting to like, cough up, this kind of like, bile, whatever the case might be, and her eyes flicker open as she like looks around the sort of room, and then she like looks to you, DDoS, and she goes, "Is it over? Am I dead?" It is, and she kind of like says it to you.
It's like, no, you've pulled through this one, but it's gonna fucking suck tomorrow.
She blinks back some tears and kind of like nods as she just like lets go and just lays there on the floor, and then everyone is just like, oh, thank God. And then and you recognize that the trauma center or the trauma team will activate if her body is questionable, like if it's in a weird heart rate, if it's a weird like situation. So you definitely got to get her like to stabilize a little bit. And right now she's gone through the medical process. So physically she's coming down, from all that, but emotionally she seems to be, very much roller coaster. And then immediately the smile comes over. Of the two, one of them looks very fierce. The other one looks very like sweet. And everything. She goes, Miss Celeste, I'm so sorry that you took those drugs. We didn't mean for you to this to happen. We swear to you, like if we knew, then we would have done it. And then she just doesn't respond as she like just kind of like lays there. And anything you guys would like to do at this time?
Can we get I don't know, some warm wet towels? Let's get some rice. Elevate the legs. I'll get like an IV going. Yeah.
Amazing.
Just try to make her comfortable.
Yeah.
Get some water.
Yeah, there you go.
Can I do anything to her cyber tech to make her feel better? Like, does she have anything that would like allow that to like help her heal or help her
Sure.
like, regulate her nervous system?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then,
19 for cyber tech.
So with the 19, she doesn't even fight you. As you go near her, you see that, like, again, premium chrome that she has on her. And you go and, like move over her angelic sort of, like, neck so that you can see her sort of, like, port or whatever. And you click in sort of to it. And then you load up everything, and it looks all way super fancy. And you immediately begin to check and see that she pretty much has, like, different sort of software or hardware that is kind of like a hardcore version of like Zoloft to make sure to like make her happy, keep the demons at bay, keep her performing and all that kind of stuff. And she's already cranked up to 11 and that kind of stuff. And then but you still like play with it a little bit, and you find that her emotional state is pretty much like numbed at this point, so she's lacking sort of any sort of feeling emotionally. And her heart rate, however, you were able to modify that and are able to make it kind of like come down to normal sort of levels. So you feel confident that if you turn off do not disturb mode, it's not going to summon the trauma team here.
I think I'm also going to ask her, like, do you want me to change your settings? I don't know who set your cybernetic settings for you, but you can't. I probably haven't been able to feel anything for some time.
She looks over to you, like kind of side eyes and everything, and goes, the studio, it required that I put this on me for the last couple outbursts that I've had. And they said that if I do anything to it, it'll break my contract with them, and I'll be back on the streets as... And she just kind of says that in a very monotone sort of fashion, which is wild.
She can't feel anything.
Yeah, which is wild because her vocal modulator sounds wonderful. Like, it sounds incredible.
I can try to make it look like nothing happened.
Oh, hold that thought.
Wait, yeah. Hello, Celeste. My name is Risa. How long have you been like this? Numbed out. I
And
mean,
yeah, and she goes, as long as I can, and she goes, as long as I can recall. But I've been in a really bad place for a really long time. As she says in monotone, no facial expression, tears slip down her eyes. Despite all that kind of stuff, and she goes, in order to get to this point, you've got to do some really bad stuff, and I've done some really bad stuff to a lot of people. And she goes, and sometimes you just can't take it. And I thought I was stronger than that, but I'm not. So this is the solution. I'm just not going to feel anything for a long time, make as much eddies as I can until I can retire. And then after that, find a nice place to settle down, but not tonight, not right now. As she goes,
well, we live in a bad, bad world, so you doing some bad things. I think that's a little bit fine. Your little contract you have, how much longer does it last?
and she goes, well, it was only going to be about 10 years, but then after I cost the studio a couple, big gigs, it's extended to like 20 years, and like 14 Christmas albums. As she gives a heavy sigh.
Oh, no, no, no. I, mm,
That's too
no,
many
okay.
Christmas albums. That's the worst part of this whole thing.
It really is. Unless you're Mariah Carey.
Yeah, right there you go.
No. Oh gosh. For the sake of our own ears, even, like, please coordinate with Ada. If not now, then some other time.
Yeah, I'll give you my contact info. I can make this look unaltered if that's what you want. But if you want me to leave it, I'll leave it.
So she doesn't give you a response. She's like, thanks, as she just kind of you essentially like unjack, sort of from her and everything like that. And she like wipes the bio from her face and then just kind of gets up. Again, the chrome here, like she as a person used to be a normal person, but now all of her enhancements make her look like very poised, very graceful, perfect. Like even her hair is enhanced to always be in the right position, right flow, and all that kind of stuff. As she gets up and goes like, I think I'm late for a performance, so could you please give me a ride over to there? As she looks over to you guys.
Yeah, we don't have the cushiest ride.
Lola, Ria, how's your ride?
And she goes, it's pristine. We have a fleet of lowriders that we could absolutely do. We brought her in here. It was great. And she goes like, by the way, do you want some synth weed, just to make sure that to like, as they immediately offer her more drugs to be able to.
We sort of hover around her and just like
give her
shuffle
like
her out
a
of the room.
seltzer or something.
How late are we, or like how close are we cutting it?
She's supposed to be on stage in 20 minutes.
We got this.
And you're about 15 minutes away from the actual venue. Yeah.
We so got this.
Okay, let's take one of their fast cars.
What
The
if
fleet.
what if we trick the trauma team? They come crashing in.
That's gonna take
like...
way longer, Dinos. It's gonna take way longer than just
We
driving
still
the 15
have a
minutes.
5-minute cushion.
She's like,
Technically.
sounds
Let's
good.
car
Immediately
walk.
takes drugs like right then and there.
Oh.
So, all right. So, without objection, she goes, I think I'm almost going to be late for a performance. And, I'm obligated to sort of be there. So if someone could please give me a ride there, I would really appreciate it. Because I'm no longer allowed to drive, as she looks to everyone here. And then the girl's like, it's the least we could do. Are you sure you're not like mad at us or no hard feelings or anything like that? She's like, no, it's fine. It's like the 17th time this has happened to me. And she goes, by the way, I knew what drugs they were. It's fine. And they go like, oh, okay. Yeah. And immediately as they turn off the do not disturb mode, to the room, calls flood you guys, as immediately like, mishap, Hayaso, all these different people call, and everyone's kind of answering, being like, yep, we're totally fine. She just, I had to use the bathroom for a while, and she's done now, so we're going to head over. Lady things, as they just kind of like...
you know how women are.
Exactly.
ODing in a private room.
And then
Just
she
women
goes,
things.
everything's in it, and you just hear like the face, just be like, Daddy, I swear everything's fine. We're so sorry, we lost track of time. She's totally good. Like everything's okay. I will personally put her in my car and drive her over right now. The crew is here too. There's the camera guy. You were not recording, right? As she kind of,
No.
you're like, as she goes, we'll handle that later. As she goes, all right, we're on our way out right now. Okay, we're in the car. We're already on the road, heading over to you right now. As she goes, all right, bye, 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 love you. As she like hangs up, you're like, we need to go down right now. As she's, everyone's telling you guys to head down.
Yeah, we head out. We book it.
Perfect. There's a bunch of drugs here. There's some money that's like eddies that are on, around the area. Some cool
Whole pockets of
threads.
money.
Yeah.
I pocket some cash
some
on the way out.
weapons, katana, whatever you guys,
Oh, a spare katana.
Yeah,
Oh, a spare katana, you say?
Divas is trying to fill up his med kit with the drugs that he could use for
You're like,
pharmaceuticals.
hell yeah. As it's just
Ada
like-
is like slipping like credit cards into her pockets. Like, Didas, hurry up. We don't have time for this.
as the girls will also be like, one of them will be like, you're not going to say shit to anyone. As the other one goes like, don't mind my sister. Don't mind my sister. You guys want drugs or money or guns or anything like that? Take it, please. You guys, my house is your house. Please, we're friends now. After something like this, we've bonded. We've all equally been a part of this. And now
17 minutes.
for better or for worse, we're in this together as...
I will absolutely take your friendship and any favors that come with that.
It's like good. As you guys, make your way through here and then are able to head down, and the security staff are kind of like, again, they're like, are you guys okay? And they're like, we're fine. As again, Celeste does not look like she just OD'd and like it doesn't look exhausted, not a hair out of place, nothing. It's like she's definitely a product of the studios and the companies to be able to be this like perfect being and all that. And sure enough, everyone stops as she's like, you guys get to the main lobby, and they all kind of like watch and sort of murmur. There's like the arrested, on the ground bodies of the couple that were freaked out, and now they're getting off to jail and all that kind of stuff. And then, at this point, you guys immediately valet shows up with a fleet of lowriders, as they had said, and then your guys' broken down sort of bullet-ridden vehicle. And they go like, you can't show up to the club like that. Like, ride with us. Go in and ride with us, and we'll make sure that you guys have a good experience. As it's the least we can do. And thank you so much for saving her, for helping her out.
We got a good doctor, so
Like, you
he's the best. He's
do
never
need
said
a new
anything
car.
questionable, and he's great with finances also.
And driving.
And driving.
Yeah.
Just a jack of all trades, really. All right, let's go.
Amazing. And they're like, yeah, we gotta like, are you for hire? Because we could use someone of your skill set. Because you'd be shocked about how often this happens with us. It's crazy. And like,
He is for a hire, and I am his contract lawyer, so.
like, oh, good. As you immediately exchange contact information, and then so at this time, you guys get into the vehicle. It's very cushy. It's very pristine. It looks incredible and everything like that. The music is blaring loud at Celeste's favorite songs, and they're like, sing a song. And then Celeste immediately, like a songbird, sings it perfectly, even better than the recording does. Just for a private sort of audience for you guys. The entire time she looks very, again, poised and graceful and like happy to be there, even though you just you checked her log. She's absolutely not feeling anything. She's like a sociopath at this point, medically induced sociopath. And then so as you guys sort of travel through here, they're like, oh my god, can you please play my favorite song? Like Neon Ghost is absolutely number one that I want you to play. Maybe the acoustic version, that like the special one. And they're like, no, play this one. And they're just all super hyped to like,
Maybe we just let her prepare for the show.
and you know what, you're probably right. I'm sorry, we always talk a lot when we get excited, and you're probably just going through a lot. I want to make sure you just don't hate our guts. Like, you just like, we're cool, right? And like I just sent you my contact information. I didn't get yours back, so I just wanted to see if that was a technical error or as Celeste is like, yeah, I'll get to it. I just have a lot, going on, and you guys are in the car. Any conversation you guys have together, as you've done it, you're traveling through Night City, heading over to the Crescent Ballroom. Nothing stopping you at all.
Interesting. How does our radio system work? Is that like out loud or is that internal?
The radio system, it's like just normal car speakers. Oh,
I
do you
guess
mean
like
can
between
you?
each other. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can do a private call to one another. Granted, there has to be certain like cybernetic enhancements to allow you to like talk internally. Otherwise, you kind of have to like talk out loud for the other person to like sort of hear you. I believe, is that right, Benji?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I
okay,
think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was just. Oh,
You
yeah,
could
okay.
text
I'm sure we have
us.
it. Yeah.
We probably have like little
A group
phones.
text,
You could,
yeah.
yeah. You
That's
could,
true. You could always,
you
yeah.
could group text us. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you'd be like, should we like offer our services to Celeste? I feel like that's a better
I
gig
tried.
for we.
I tried,
Nice.
but I don't think she's capable of making a decision unless I go in and manually reduce her like cybernetic levels, like the drugs that she's on permanently. I could mask it so it doesn't look like anything happened. Like I could hack it.
I
I
mean,
mean, right now we want her to function. It's sad to say. So it's
Yeah.
useful.
But I
But
mean,
in the
I did
future,
offer, but I don't think she's capable of making a decision. I don't think she cares.
oh, she doesn't care.
But like, I mean, I think I've done what I can, which is just let her know that I can change it if she wants and hide it for her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We can try to stay in touch with her and see if there's anything more we can do.
and then
But
do we
yeah,
trust these twins? They're like,
absolutely not. But we kind of just
No.
have to entertain them right now.
No, they're definitely making this about themselves right now.
Yeah, no, they're a couple of narcissists. We just gotta keep them happy
Like, would you
for the next 15 minutes.
would you sign my Chrome as she's like, sure,
Yeah.
and she has like a cyber sharpie, and then like signs like, I'm having a ripper doc. Implant this right away, as they're like super so hyped about this. Meanwhile, as you're in this vehicle, when I say fleet, there's about like 3 lowriders that are like carrying this. Your guys is more of like a limo style, so there's a lot of seating in the back that we guys can all sort of be there together, and the other 2 are more of like normal sort of vehicles. And there's like the drivers that are talking, and they go, and you kind of hear them, discuss this, everything to each other. They're like, "Hey, that car's been like tailing us for a while now," and like, "Yeah, clock it. That seems kind of like a bit weird here." And they kind of like turn down the radio and be like, "Hey, just to let you guys know, I don't know what's going on, but there's a couple people like that are following us. So just play it safe." And then Celeste goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Those might be my stalkers." And they all kind of like, "What?" And then like, "Yeah, it's just probably my stalkers. They follow me wherever I go. They either like me a ton or they hate me or something of the mix. But they usually cause issues. And I apologize, for that." And like clockwork, immediately you hear bullets fly as they start to fly out of here. And granted, thankfully, you're with a bunch of gangsters, so immediately they pull out their weapons and start firing back. But it seems to be a very intense situation. If you weren't with them, it seems like this might have been a lot more difficult. As the drivers guys like, "Oh, hold on, all right, we're gonna get you there, no problem." They're as they kind of like on the radio with the other group, telling them to like deal with this situation. If you'd like to, you can contribute to the combat, or you can leave it be. In this time, your vehicle is mainly trying to get away from the scene, while the other 2 vehicles are dealing with this sort of threat. What would you guys like to do?
Is there a sunroof or like
Yep, there's a sunroof. There are windows. The windows are all blacked out for like privacy, so it's like
That's
two-way
good.
essentially. Yeah.
I would prefer the sunroof so like I don't potentially get crossfire
Yeah.
that affects other people.
And you're using katana, right?
No. My gun.
Yeah. Amazing.
I use gun.
Perfect. All right,
For
good.
sure.
So in this time, you go ahead and they tell you guys like, don't worry, we're gonna go ahead and get you guys over to the venue. The other two groups are gonna go ahead and deal with these like stalkers, if that's what they are. Let's show them what the like our gang can do as they go ahead and drive faster. The other guards like kind of back away to deal with the situation. You open the sunroof to look out, and you find that there are like two vans essentially, and they pull up the side door and immediately open fire onto the vehicles. And they're like, although the gangsters that you're with are doing a good job, they're actually like packing heat. They're actually with the intent to like kill you guys coming through here. So you have your assault rifle.
Well, that was going to be my question, was just like, are they trying to kill us or just slow us down? But if they're trying to kill us, that's personal.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to be careful.
Amazing.
I'm just going to shoot to shoot. Maybe I hit a tire, maybe I hit them.
Okay, so right, combat in this game. That's something that I should have remembered. Let me go ahead and do. Let's see. Oh, combat.
I'll be using my assault rifle.
There we go. Friday night firefight. All right, cool. We won't do initiative because this is probably going to be pretty quick. And let me see here. Da-da-da. Yes. So go ahead and roll for your
Shoulder
weapon.
arms, I think.
Yeah. Shoulder arms, assault rifle.
See, plus 13 to this.
Cool. Yay. Surely I roll better than a 1. Oh, sure. I did. It was a 9.
A 9? Okay, so there we go. Okay, 8 at 13, so that's 22. So perfect. So with the 22, you open fire. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me see. How far away was it?
She also has a cybernetic eye, so she can see details up to 800 meters away.
Oh, nice. Okay, good.
Damn.
Glad she's on your team. Oh my gosh. Amazing. All right, cool. Let's do. And let me see here. Ranged combat rules. There we go. And then you are using the assault rifle. Yep, shoulder arms. And then, so go ahead and roll your 5d6. Yeah, cool.
21.
21. Oh my gosh. All right, so 21. And then, let me go ahead and get. Let's just pop open the vehicle combat rolls and see what it's like. All right, there's a lot of words here.
There's a lot of words in this game. It's like, it's super fun. It's super cool. There's so many things you can do, but they all require so many words.
Yes. Dodging a ramming vehicle, ramming, doing maneuvers, basic driving. Let me see the. Oh, you know what? I think what I'm looking for is the armor value for a vehicle.
Oh, I forgot what page that was on.
Yeah, which I think they just have it as like armor.
Yeah, I think there's like levels, and it's probably like the.
Yeah.
There's
armor.
It's like AC for cover or something like
Solo, tech, armor, piercing. Whatever. A 22 absolutely does good work. So as you're aiming just like towards your targets, which are in large vans, you're able to strike. And as you do so, it does get soaked a bit by the van itself. But then the bullets do impact through the windshield and do hit apparently one of the drivers, that they begin to like swerve and everything like that. They swerve into one of the lowriders and cause it to like crash, but also the van itself crashes as well. So there's only like, one van, one lowrider sort of left here. They will go ahead and try to fire back. And as they do so you're out of this vehicle, up the sunroof is there and everything like that. This loud music is pouring from your vehicle, but outside you can hear the sounds of gunshots firing, and you hear them go like you ruined my career and now I'm gonna take you down. As there's another woman looks to be a lot lesser of a celestial being that Celeste is or what have you, but she looks to have been some sort of has also some premium chrome on it as well, with neon hair that's glittering and sort of shining and everything like that. And she has her own assault rifle as she's gonna fire back at you. And then she will go ahead and do.
I found the cover HP also if you want it.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Cover.
Yeah. So if it's steel and it's steel is they give thin or thick. So thin cover it can be moved if needed. Thick cover can't. But thin for steel is 25 and thick is 50. And they also give bulletproof glass is 15 for thin and 30 for thick.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So if it's a lighter car with bulletproof glass, then it depends on if you're aiming at. I'm assuming Risa would probably be aiming through the windshield at the drivers, or if you're or were you aiming at the car?
Yeah.
So if it wasn't,
Yeah.
if it was thinner glass, then it would have shattered it. If it was super thick glass, then it wouldn't. Because it's 30 HP for thick and 15 for thin. So it depends on how heavy duty these guys chasing us are.
All right. So, all right, cool. So they end up getting a 16 to their roll for accuracy. And then for this, they have an assault rifle. 51 to 100 yards, 15, so right on the money. So they're going to go ahead and roll their own 5d6. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. Oops.
They give an example of a windshield would be no cover unless it's made of bulletproof glass, and that a car door would be thin steel.
Oh, that's good to know.
Textbook.
Okay.
Yeah, so they give a couple examples.
All right, we're going to use that. All right, so it's going to be 19 sort of damage. So we'll say that the vehicle is thin steel. And let me go and see.
So that's 25 then.
25? Okay. So the vehicle
cover
takes up a good chunk of that. You find that you hear the sounds of bullets that are riddling the vehicle. And you see that some bullets have gone through the actual back, window and what have you. And all that, but it hasn't actually hit you guys yet. One of them just flies, straight by Celeste. Doesn't hit her, but she pays it no mind as she just looks again very posed and graceful, as everyone else is pulling out their guns and getting ready to fight. And they're like, "You guys need drugs to get through this?" As they kind of immediately offer you guys some stuff, and then
they're so consistent.
Right? Anything else for you guys? Or do you guys take cover and kind of get down?
I think take cover and maybe pull Celeste down too, so that she's also not in the way.
I'm still with my rat-a-tat-tat.
Amazing.
Are there in some areas they have those blockades that come out of the ground? Some roads have that. Is there anything like that around that we can I don't know, I guess take over and block them from chasing us?
There can be, absolutely, yeah.
I don't know how I would do it. I do have electronic security tech. I don't know if that is the same thing.
Oh, access the city, electronics?
City's grid, yeah. And then kind of shut down the road behind us or throw up blockades.
We could try it.
If there's one of those fucking bridges, we could ramp it before they get there. I don't know, throwing spaghetti. I don't
No,
if D'Angelo will let us hack directly into the city, I'd try.
Sure, yeah, if you want to. Go for it.
The immediate area. Let's go.
Hell yeah, I'll try. Oh, just kidding. I crit failed.
Crit failed? All right. You're in a moving vehicle. Bullets are flying and everything like that.
I'm having a bad time.
You're just caught up in how sweet the perfume is that Celeste has on her.
I'm very distracted by how pretty she is.
Exactly, yeah. You're not alone, too, because it feels weird. She looks too perfect. And Okay, perfect. And then, all right. Anyone else want to do anything? Oh, here we go. All right, cool. So I assume that you just all take cover while you guys are sort of getting through this. All right. So in this time, the other gangsters are like firing back. The van is taking damage here. This woman here, she's like crying as she's firing, and she's like, "Celeste, I'll never forgive you. We were like a duo. We were going through everything. You promised you would never betray me, and yet you let me, rot." And as she just like cries out this whole spiel and sort of story. And Celeste, like, just like, can hear it. You guys can all hear it through the bullet holes now and everything like that. And one of the bullets hit the radio, so the radio's like done and all that. And she goes like, "Oh, that was Rebecca. She was once my best friend. She was a childhood friend of mine. I made it look like she was like a drug addict. That way I could get the #1 spot and kind of find a reason to break my contract with her." As I guess she's still bitter about it, as she kind of just says simply. And,
Damn, Celeste.
and
Celeste, have you ever thought about going public with your story?
and she goes, "I don't think the studio would let me. There's been a couple times where some people who wanted reporters that I did speak to and vent to, and they died the next day from suicide. I don't know what happens. It just keeps happening." As
You want to take that risk, bite size?
she just smiles, and then. But if you want an
Is-
interview, I'm
Maybe
down to
I-
give you an interview.
Maybe
So
I
let's-
make us some documents before we do that. Maybe we make a contingency plan before we start doing this.
Maybe we just get through the night.
Yeah.
Reese is like, "Please, it's my birthday. I just want to
It
live."
is my birthday. I want my cake after this.
Celeste, can you just throw out an olive branch to Rebecca and tell her you're gonna perform with her tonight?
I think it's
And
a
then-
little too late for that. I don't think you're going to be able to convince her.
Amazing. So at this time, what happens is that Risa, it'll go back to you for this. So go ahead and once again and use your shoulder arms and like, I guess for the 13, right? Was your total score. So you have just your D10 plus your 13.
Yeah. I'm going to keep continuing. Pop, pop, pop. So, yeah, just to confirm. Sorry.
And they're
I wanna make
getting
sure.
closer. So it'll be a 26 to 50 yards away. So you need a 13 or higher to succeed, which actually you probably already succeed unless you get a 1.
Okay. Woo, 5.
5? You're good. Yeah. As you go ahead and get an 18, so you absolutely do hit. Where are you aiming? The person or the windshield?
The windshield.
Windshield.
I feel,
Okay.
a little bad.
So go ahead and roll a 5d6. And again, that windshield is what, 15 was the.
If it's bulletproof glass, it would be 15. If it's regular
Oh.
glass, it would just go through.
would
If
just go
it's
through.
so
Yeah.
it depends
That
on
makes
how
sense. Yeah.
how intense these people are. If they have bulletproof glass in their cars.
I rolled a 19 total.
19 total. Okay. So with a 19, it goes through the windshield, and you actually hit the driver full blown. As again, they swerve out. You find that this failed pop star, betrayed by Celeste and all that kind of stuff. She flies out from the vehicle, and she has the mantis arms that are like there's like blade arms and all kind of stuff. And she's running way too fast. So she's like, and then heading straight over for you as she leaps up and then goes to try to strike you. As I quickly pull up the melee combat rules. And what would those mantis arms be? Let me see. It might just be.
Cyber limbs under cyber limbs.
It might be cyber limbs, yeah. Pressure, grip, escape. Bone breaking strike, iron grip, disarming.
Rippers, scratchers, slice and dice.
It might be
These are
slice
the
and
names.
dice. Yeah,
These are the names of the different.
I think it's slice and dice. Something comment.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, I think this is no. I think this is smaller. This is a whip implanted in the user's thumb. It's a medium melee weapon damage with 2d6 and 2 ROF, which I think means you can hit twice with it.
Slice and dice is like a garrote that you can pull out of your
Yeah,
thigh.
I don't
Gotcha.
think that's it.
That's wild though. Oh my gosh.
There's Wolvers, which are extendable carboglass claws, so like Wolverine claws, I think.
Oh.
That might be it. That's 3d6 damage to ROF.
Sure. Let's do that. So, first we're gonna try to even hit. So it'll be, so it'll be 15, versus your defenders. So go ahead and roll, Risa, a d10, and then it'll be your dexterity plus your evasion.
Dexterity plus my evasion.
You are.
So it'd be. Where's evasion?
It's plus 12. I think you're good.
Okay, 12 plus 9.
Yeah.
Wow, 21. All right, so as she rushes up to you and then takes her like blades and tries to strike at you, you find that they're like older models. It kind of stutters as it kind of like, strikes out. And as it does so, it does, crash into the actual vehicle, allowing her to hang on, to the vehicle and everything like that. But it misses you. And above it, since you guys all took cover, you can see this blade pierce out from the top of the vehicle. And then anything else from you guys? Oh, I'm sorry. Then DDoS, you were going to try to hack the.
No, I think Ada tried to do that.
I tried and failed.
Oh, that's
to
right.
hack.
Yeah,
To hack the city. Yeah.
You're now wanted in Night City for trying to hack the failed.
I probably was before.
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
I just need to change my identity again.
Amazing.
I make a mental note to do that after this.
And then anything else for you guys, or do you all continue to take cover?
Yeah, I think we just take cover.
I've got a shotgun. Can I shoot somebody with a shotgun?
I have a handgun.
If you want to, yeah, absolutely. You definitely do see,
Feel free to help.
quote unquote, yeah, Rebecca that's there. Again,
I have
very
a heavy pistol. I can try to use that.
Yeah,
We see the blade like coming.
yeah, you
Yeah,
definitely
I
have.
see the blade coming, and I'm like, uh-oh.
I have a collapsible baton,
Sure.
Oh, okay.
and so I think I whip it out and I just start hitting the blade, trying to get it to dislodge from the side of the thing. Like,
Amazing.
no.
All right, so Bite Size, go and roll your attack. And then 9.
16.
Ooh, 16. Is that 16 total?
Yeah.
All right, so she got a 19. So she does evade as you go ahead and try to strike at her and everything like that. Very quick, and you can definitely see that as you look to Rebecca, she is very beautiful, but she seems to be like older than Celeste, like quite a few years older.
This is the plot of The Substance. They're actually the same person.
Yeah.
I crit.
Oh, yeah.
I got a 28.
A 28. Okay.
I got 28 with my pistol and
Oh,
12
okay.
damage.
So range. Yeah. So let me go ahead and check really quick because I'm curious. Pistols 0 to 6 is 13. So you absolutely hit. Go and roll your damage.
It's 12. 12 damage. That's what I
Oh,
got.
12 damage. Okay. So 12 damage in this thin metal. Let me see here.
Should be 25, I think, for thin metal.
25 thin metal. Okay, perfect. So you do end up like firing off in the car and everything towards her, and you see that the metal is weak. You've very much reduced the armor value of this roof, and a bit more hit will actually expose, Rebecca fully. And then anything else from anyone?
I'll throw a little shotgun slug at her. I don't think I hit.
Like, is this thing
Oh,
loaded? And then you just kind of
You just shoot off into the side.
No.
amazing. So with an 11. Now, well, let me check here. Shotgun. Yeah,
No,
you need 13.
it's the same. Yeah.
Yeah, you need 13. So you do have luck. So if you wanted to pull your luck,
Bump
in
it up
there-
by 2.
Yeah.
You could bump it up by 2 to hit.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
Perfect. You do so. So you and then now go ahead and roll your damage, which is I'm sure a lot.
It auto rolls.
I think it already.
Oh, did it?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So it's
7.
Oh, that's so nice. Oh
But
my gosh.
it's 2 down from my normal, so I'm gonna roll 2 more d6. It's supposed to
three.
be 5.
It's 3d6.
Oh shit! It's supposed to be.
No, it
Hold on.
rolls 3d6.
Wait, why do I have 2 different shotguns? And
Uh,
one is...
Yeah, it says 5d. It says 5d6 for the
Okay,
shotgun.
then you should roll 2 more. Yeah,
don't know
you're
why
right.
Yeah.
Oh, when I change it to shotgun from ranged, it goes down.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. So whatever. So 7 damage, I guess.
Okay. Oh yeah, it is. Oh no, 5d6. Weird. No, go and roll a 2d6 more because she's 0 to 6 yards away, so she's like right up to you guys.
Okay. That is 9 more.
Wow. Okay, I regret that. So that's 16.
total.
So with a
You've
16,
done this to yourself.
I know. Yeah. You break through the actual roof armor, or the seal or whatever that's on the roof, and you're able to it embeds Rebecca with all this. Her beautiful, kind of more organic, more meat than chrome body ends up getting embedded with all this like sort of the slug of the shotgun shell and everything like that. Entire hand sort of like gets blown off in the process and everything. And she's just like furious as she can see Celeste. As Celeste looks up and goes like, "Long time no see, Rebecca. How are you?" As she just looks very like
You're a one-hit wonder.
amazing. As she's like, and she truly is. Unfortunately. And,
Psychic damage?
yes, emotional damage. Her new target is DDoS. Is amazing. So then, all right, Risa. So it goes up to you. So you can do melee combat if you'd like to, or you can stick with ranged combat. So just to let you know, with ranged combat, since you're using an assault rifle, and there's 0 to 6, you need a 17 to hit.
You can do that easily.
Otherwise, if you want to just punch her, or whatever the case might be, you can always try that. What are you thinking, Risa?
Oh, this is at me.
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
You're
Yes,
fine,
my
you're
bad.
fine. You're good. You're good. So you can use
Oh
your
my God.
assault rifle or your fists if you want to, whichever you want to
Let's
do.
do fist. I want to change it up.
Sure, sounds
I
good.
keep using this gun. So fisty time. Is that...
So your
So it's +8 for you, and then your damage is 3d6.
I'm not as good at this, but whatever.
But it's fun.
But it's fun, exactly.
and she got an 11 for her evasion.
So that's 8 plus, what was it, 8?
Yeah, 8. So you get 16.
16.
Yep.
16, you absolutely hit. So now
Let's
go and roll your
go.
damage.
What was that again?
3d6.
3d6. 13.
13. So with the 13, describe how you're impacting her. Spinning kick or dropping elbows or.
I mean, it's a bit of a confined space. So maybe not a spinning kick. Dropping elbows, though. Yes, let's do that. Straight to her pretty nose. And then pow pow to the sides of the face. Just
Amazing.
trying to make her unconscious. We don't need to continue this.
You do so as you hit her hard, because granted she came to kill, so she has like a sidearm that you can see still on her, and then she has her blade. Her other hand has been blown off and everything like that. So you go over to her and you just begin to like bash on her, and you feel bones break and everything as you see that she's a bloody sort of mess, as she's barely hanging on to consciousness at this point. And after that, it'll be her. So she will take her blade and then just try to reach over to Celeste with a 12, essentially. So with that, she's unable to actually reach. So desperately, she tries to dig her blade in as everyone's like pointing their guns like at her and the shotgun and everything like that. And then her tears are flying as she's like, "I'll never forgive you, Celeste." As she you know, takes whatever amount of hand is left and then pulls out like a half of a best friend bracelet and throws it at Celeste with blood that splatters on her face and everything. And then anyone who wants to go next can. Actually, I think it's Bite Size. I think Bite Size was the one that goes after.
Oh, you have your baton out.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and hit her with the baton again.
Just push her off. Amazing. All right.
19.
19 will hit. You have
Nice.
16. Yeah. And then
Let's
go to roll
go
your
bite
damage.
size.
12.
12. All right, with the 12, you're able to knock her out and get her off of the vehicle as she like flies off into the night city. After other cars are like bam, and then it's quiet at this point as there's a bunch of damage to the car. The NCPD, their sirens are blaring. They're dealing with the aftermath of everything that happened, behind you guys. You guys are able to slip into the alleyway next to the Crescent Ballroom and then pull into this area, and where immediately there are a crowd of people that are, the line is around the building, essentially waiting for this event to happen. You find that there's crowds of people that are chanting like Celeste, 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 and then also, and as you get in the back of there, you find that the staff and security are like, letting you guys through because they can clearly see that you're a part of, Payasso's sort of gang or whatever the case might be. And they like check you guys to see if you're okay. And then everyone's like, fine for the most part. And Celeste has this blood that's like splattered on her. And you see that like her eye begins to twitch a little bit as she's like, she no longer looks graced or poised or anything like that. And they're like, I mean, we arrived here, so now you can do your gig. That's great, right? And then and Celeste just doesn't answer as she's just still on the ground and seemingly not really doing, anything. As like, Celeste, you want to get up now? And she just refuses to get up.
Celeste, you have a show to do. You don't want to let your fans down.
And as you say that, she just like picks up the charm bracelet and just like very much looks, sort of at it. And you can, with your human perception, you can see that she's kind of having a bit of a breakdown right now. Despite all of the cybernetic enhancements, it seems like her emotional state is so off the rails that she's like full blown just having a breakdown. Now you recognize a lot of her emotional state is tied up or influenced by her software / hardware that has been installed into her by the studio. So you could tap into that if you'd like to, or you could let her do her thing or whatever you like to do. As
I think let's get her backstage and away from people.
sure,
and
there's
just-
the green room. Yeah.
Yeah, let's take her away from the crowd, and then we can decide. Just at least not have everyone bothering her.
Yeah. As the
And I just tell, what is our friend's name? Our club owner's name.
mishap.
Yeah, tell Mishap to keep vamping. Like, well, and we bring her backstage, I think.
Yeah, we just need like a couple minutes.
I think I'm gonna go over to her and I'm gonna say, I can go into your cybernetics and I can adjust them either direction that you want. Do you want that or no?
Right. You're going to ask, as you can tell that she's having, what appears to be what looks to be a panic attack. But in reality, her body is like, she's trying to feel something and it's being blocked and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And,
I can I'm going to tell her, like, I can let you feel something if you want. Like, I can
Ada, do we
lower it.
want her to feel it right now?
Well, I mean, I think the reason that she's catatonic is because she's trying to feel something and she can't. She's like blocking herself.
Celeste, you betrayed that person. Use that betrayal to mean something. Perform your ass off. Simple. We can deal with it afterwards.
And you guys get to the green room. And again, the neon lights, the sounds, the smoke and everything like that. You hear the MC kind of call out, be like, in just a little bit, we're gonna have the world renowned Celeste perform for you her greatest hits, right here, right within the Crescent Ballroom. This humble venue, will be and this is one of many amazing gigs. Let's give it a round of applause for Mishap as Mishap takes stage to be able to like give a speech and all that. And before you can hear that actual speech, the doors close behind in the soundproof sort of like green room as you're there alone with her. It's everyone important. It's you guys and the daughters of Payaso. It's everyone you could ever want in this room. As they just kind of go like, she doesn't look good. Is she supposed to like? I hear that for these giant pop stars, they do stuff to their mind and their sort of like emotions, to not let them like feel. Is that's what she's kind of going through? As like that's kind of messed up. As they kind of look to her.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask her what she wants me to do because I can change her basically settings.
Yeah, and then go ahead and give me whoever would like to give me a human perception to understand what she's going through emotionally. What she literally will tell you at this.
No, our best human perception person just crit failed.
Just crit failed.
I do have my luck though, so I might bump mine with oh, but I rolled really well. I rolled a 9, so I got a 14.
14, okay, so good. So
that's me rolling
with
well,
a
and you
12,
got a 12 rolling bad.
right, with a 12 and a 14, you guys kind of look to her, and she's definitely going through it, panic attack and everything like that, and she's processing everything. What she says to you is she goes, I have to perform. I'm obligated, contractually obligated to give my best performance. If I don't, then it will be bad. There will be backfires that'll happen, and the studio will reprimand me for not doing so. He's like, but admittedly, I don't feel quite well, and I feel admittedly, I don't think I'm feeling very well, and it's kind of breaking through. I kind of want you to numb it. I kind of don't want to feel anything. And she kind of looks to. Granted, at the same time, tears are streaming down her face, and her hands are trembling sort of at this time. A representation of her true emotions, kind of like seeping sort of through here. And at this time, Payaso will like open and get in here. He's a very large sort of like man, about 6'4" or so, and then has like dressed to the nines and all that kind of stuff. And he goes, hey, is the girl ready? Like what's going on? Like I'm glad you guys were able to find her and everything, but is she doing okay? As she's just like again shaking and like
I think I'll try to hack her cybernetics again.
Okay.
She's just needs a moment. Piasso. We're working on it.
Meanwhile, I'm like connecting my cable into like the back of her neck.
Yeah, and she lets you as she just like leans over. She's like, just don't make me feel anything. I don't want to feel this. As she just says, like her voice cracking, and her voice doesn't crack. It never cracks or anything. And as you kind of like jack into her port and everything, you look at her emotional state, and it's off the charts. It's wild. Yeah. Like it's almost to the point where it's going to be cyberpsychosis if she like is continued to actually be regulated at this point, because it can't handle doing so. And if you do crank it up, then it truly will get to a point where she won't feel anything, but it actually might have permanent effects on her. And you kind of like, you recognize this, no one else does. It's you, as you have these screens in front of you. Granted, your team is near you, to be able to bounce ideas off of and what have you.
I think I lean over to DDoS and I am like, I could do what she wants, but it would cause permanent brain damage, like emotionally. Like, she will never be able to recover from it, even if she gets off of this thing.
I guess.
Is there anything you can do medically to help stabilize her?
I mean, I could try cutting.
Okay, never mind. I asked the wrong guy.
So, in this time, you like kind of speak to this a little bit, and Payaso will be like, I mean, is it stage fright? Like I can't imagine she'd have stage fright, but if you do, we have some stuff to make you feel good. Like that's not a problem. The stuff, especially the stuff that we gave you, like will give you a good feeling. And you recognize, DDoS, that like although stimulants do a lot of things, there could be something medically induced that to bring her down if you'd like to, but it could have very addictive properties. How much she needs.
Yeah, I guess they'd also will look to them. It's like, well, we could try chemicals, or we could try good old fashioned therapy, or we could try the snip snip, or the hack hack. What do y'all think? I don't know what this accent is anymore.
I think we need to hack her and drug her, get her out there for this performance.
And we can therapy after if she's of a mind, even.
I'm telling you right now, if we do this, she's never gonna. There's no therapy. There's no therapy. There's no drug. We're giving her permanent brain damage if we do this.
Okay. Well, no hack then.
Or maybe we try. How much time? do we have?
I did get a 22 cyber tech check.
Sure.
I'd push luck to get it higher to see if I could try to help her without killing her or giving her permanent brain damage.
You recognize that she is cranked up all the way for this
Yeah.
software and everything. Yeah. So to go any further, would give permanent. Yeah. You recognize that you could activate it to be able to get her to perform on stage without feeling anything, but it would be the cost of permanent sort of stuff. And there are drugs, or you could try to talk to her. Whichever you want to try to do. That silver tongue of yours.
I think maybe we try to talk to her first because I don't want to give her permanent brain damage.
This is such a cyberpunk scenario. Do we give her drugs, or do we like cyber psychosis, or?
I guess we could talk about it. Can we speed run this?
Celeste, listen. Rebecca's not your fault. She's not. It was the studio's fault. All of this, it's the studio's fault. All the way back to the very beginning. They've manipulated you. And I think the best thing you could do is come forward with the real story, the true story of how much they've controlled, because I think you're underestimating public sympathy and how much your fans would be behind you if they knew the truth.
Okay, go ahead and give me a persuasion or conversation or whatever you feel is the most relevant.
I'm going to do a persuasion, and I'm going to spend all my luck on this as well.
Nice.
Sure. 18.
So that's with my luck a 24.
24,
Nice.
so a massive roll. So as you like everything quiets down, and then Payaso will be like, if this doesn't work out, get some of the good stuff. And then and they're like, of course, as they like open up the case that you guys sort of brought with you, and they have everything ready to go just in case. But you like sit her down and you look at her, and you say this to her. And the tears begin to flow, and her arms, like her hands, are still shaking, and she like looks like she wants to dismiss it, and she says she's fine and all that kind of stuff, but then she kind of like twitches a little bit and kind of like shakes her head, and then she kind of like grabs onto you, Ada, and goes, I want you to reduce the blockers by just a little bit, not all the way, because I couldn't handle if it was all the way, but just a little bit. I do want to feel something, as she says. And then Pastor's like, is this a good idea? She might like, obviously we want attention to the club, but this bad attention might be weird, but I leave it up to you guys, because
Yeah, I mean, I'll use my 22
Yep.
roll to just adjust it a tiny bit and just keep an eye on like all of her
Yeah. It was at 100% already, and then do you reduce like 80 or 90 or anything?
I'll like bring it down so slowly. I'm gonna reduce it to like 95 and just see how she's feeling because like
Sure.
that's even that is a lot.
You
She's
guys
like
all recognize.
functionally a sociopath right now.
Yeah, because you guys all recognize that you can see in real time the percentages begin to drop for her emotional sort of like blockers and all kind of stuff. As every percentage kind of goes down, she begins to like her lip quivers and she shakes and grabs her mouth and just begins to cry hardcore and everything like that. All this pent up sort of emotion begins to sort of release sort of from her, and then at this time mishap comes through as the doors open up, and then you hear the sounds of the roaring crowd and the cheering, and they go like, all right, you guys did it, you guys brought it. And it's like, whoa, what is going on here? And she goes like, what is this, like, can she perform? And she
Mishap, just get
Everyone
a
just wait
moment.
1 second. Everyone just wait 1 second.
Coach of a moment.
yeah. And at this time, as you guys are like defending her and saying like, hold on, all that kind of stuff, Celeste, raises a hand and goes like, I can do it, I can perform, it's okay. As she like takes a deep breath, and she seems still racked with emotions, and she wipes her tears sort of away and everything like that. And she gets up and goes, I promise you, like, it's wonderful to meet you. You're the club owner, I understand, and thank you so much for the opportunity to perform at your venue. I'll make sure to give them a show that they will never forget. As she goes, thank you, and goes like, please, right this way. And she turns to you guys and goes like, I know you went through a lot to be able to help me out this evening, and I want to say thank you for everything. As she kind of like gives you a very sweet sort of smile. Tears are still flowing, and she still looks very emotional, but ultimately she goes like, all right. And she walks down the hallway from the green room to the actual main stage, and she gets up there and she performs her songs. However, she's very much emotional while doing so, and it actually adds an extra layer to her performance that is more real and authentic than it has ever been from her stuff, because it always sounded good, but it always sounded very artificial, like most music does in Night City. But now there's a ring of authenticity to it, and everyone goes crazy sort of for it, and they absolutely love her sort of for it. And like, Celeste is back, is incredible, all this kind of stuff and everything. And afterwards, you guys, find that it actually helped out tremendously, and you guys are paid your dues of whatever you wanted. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, you don't get to talk to Celeste again because she's swept away by the studio and the executives to be able to.
I implanted my contact info into her cybernetics
Yeah,
so
like,
that I can contact her
yeah.
later.
Amazing.
I'm like,
Yeah. And
I give her my and bite-sized contact info like directly into her cybernetics so
go
that she
into
can
like her
contact
calendar
us.
and add an interview time for like
Yeah.
Bite-sized.
It's just like escape clutches of studio.
Exactly. So
Encrypted.
in this time again, because before all of this, in her world, you were like nothing, very tiny little specks, but you had touched her life in such a deep sort of and meaningful way. Now, whether or not she will be truly able to escape the clutches of the studio and everything like that, that's a different story. But at least for this night, she got to feel and address certain things, and it added an extra layer to her sort of stuff. And you guys do get your dues. You get your payment, you get your promotions, you get your everything.
Birthday party.
Yeah, birthday party, exactly. But yeah, so absolutely. And the daughters, even though for better or for worse, they love you guys because they think you guys are rock stars and awesome for how you're able to handle yourself, not only with the gun, but also, with your words and your everything. And Bite Size, you do get your actual interview with Celeste. She actually makes it a priority and then is able to actually, answer your questions to the best of her ability, and then like cries on camera, for your sort of like interview. And it's fantastic. Your name, skyrockets. And everything, until there's a horrible slanderous sort of like article that comes out for all your past misdeeds, and then that's another story and all that. So, so I would love to hear what your guys' epilogue is for what you would do with your newfound funds and reputation and all that kind of stuff. And this is open ended because you guys have gone above and beyond. So we'll go around the room in opposite order, and we'll start with Risa. So
All
how do you feel like
right.
Risa? Yeah.
Risa finally gets her cake sliced. She tries to share some cake with all of her homies. Um, and she uses the money to just kind of stay comfortable. She's not incredibly ambitious, which is probably why Mishap likes her so much. Um, so her priority is just going to be like ensuring what she's already doing, which is coordinating with bite size with her reels,
Oh,
or
that's
thirst
right. Yeah.
traps.
Fan
Yeah,
cams.
the
So
fan cams.
cute.
And
Oh,
helping out if they ever ask her, like if they need help with something, they need some guns, like multiple, of course, because
oh, for
she'll
sure.
be
Yeah.
there. She'll be there. Yeah.
Amazing. You get a lot of gigs from Payaso as well as Mishap, and the club is very successful at this point. And then DDoS.
I think DDoS ends up kind of like working for Payaso, and then ends up on like some like cruise ships working as a doctor, and like he negotiated very poorly, so he's basically paying them to like be
No, no,
aboard.
no, no. Ada reviewed your contract. Ada is your new
Yeah,
contract
there you go.
lawyer
You're like,
and
wait a
edited
second.
it.
Yeah.
She rejected it and rewrote it for you.
Amazing.
So you are being paid a lot of money.
You're like, sweet,
And
one
he's
break every
very
12
happy.
hours.
Like all of a sudden, like your style of living has gone up like 2 times, and you're just being paid what you should have been paid the whole time.
You're like,
He's
you guys
still
get health
paying
insurance?
insurance on that car.
It was like,
Right? Exactly. Amazing. And then, all right, good. And then Ada.
Yeah, Ada is actually originally from the corporate world and has been trying to track down some of her family. So she uses the money to like, I think like go back on the run to like kind of like try to go back to what she was trying to do before. I think she was just like going through a hard time, and so like freelancing and trying to get money through Mishap, and now that she's got this big windfall, she's like has her eyes back on the goal, which is like trying to help find her like missing sister, who has gone through something very similar to what Celeste went, but on a private level. So I think we'll keep in contact with the group, but like through like encrypted channels. Yeah, and I think definitely stays in contact with everyone and will like help out if they ever need like a hacker or someone to get them information or anything. But yeah, I think she goes off on her own and leaves this sort of like job behind, and tries to solve her own mysteries.
Amazing. And the studio did give you guys like an NDA sort of payout of like 10,000 eddies. So you guys got quite a bit of funds from that. And then Bite Size.
Yeah, I think Bite Size uses his interview with Celeste to jumpstart his media career as like a celebrity reporter, and uses his club connection, like gets all the exclusives with the Crescent Club, and like creates his own like live channel. But he gets like an offer from Network 54, but turns it down so he can stay independent media, and like starts his own vlog with like celebrity interviews, and does like fan cams, and also like tries to pump up like Risa's career, turn her into a poster girl,
Amazing.
like get those guns on display.
That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. Incredible. That's amazing. So I want to thank you guys again for playing Cyberpunk with me and going on this roller coaster of a journey and all that kind of stuff. What I'd love for you to do is, again, in opposite order, go ahead and tell us who you are and where you can be found, starting with Benji.
Hi, I'm Benji. You can find me online at Chance47 on all of the socials. And next, you can see me back here again playing a disaster warlock who tries to seduce things that he shouldn't. I don't know. Something completely new for me.
Yeah, right? You never... that's crazy of a concept. That's amazing. And then Isabel.
Hey, I'm Isabel. You can find me all over the internet at IsabelOK. I will be joining said warlock as your sad, yearning lesbian wizard.
Amazing. And then perfect. And then Adam.
Hey, I'm Adam, Adamus Lamas around the webs. I'm also in this campaign. I'm playing a rabbit bard, dance bard, and I'm gonna have to rewatch some stuff because I have no clue what's going on.
I know, right? It's
I
been
have
a
to read all my
while.
notes
It's
again.
been it's been a while. So no worries.
But I'm very excited to get back into it.
Amazing. And then Zeffy.
Yes, it me, Zeffy. You can find me everywhere as Zeffy. I do really need to use the other website more. I kind of just don't social media anyway. Um, over
Amazing.
the summer, you'll see me on a Bad House RPG. We'll have our
Ooh.
season 2. We've been taking a long hiatus, but stuff happens, life.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just happy to be here. Thanks again for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming
So
to the
much
super
fun.
chill. Yeah. Cyberpunk, it's like nothing big happened at all. No emotional journey or anything like that.
Alan,
Yeah.
nothing big, he says.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. Amazing. So want to thank you guys again for being here playing Cyberpunk, and we'll be back soon with more TTRPG goodness. For now, hope you guys all have a wonderful night, and thank you again for everything, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.